Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Gen V Season 2 review series, Episode 4. I am the low stakes Trash Snail, and I'm joined by.
I'm the Bloodbender, Taylor Field.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we are here. Big thank you to everyone who listened. I saw it was Dito last on YouTube tonight. You guys still doing it? Yes, we are. Luckily, everybody like we said, we were very busy. We said, hey, we're gonna see what the numbers are, and luckily we like the show, so that helped. But also the numbers, you guys beat a couple other series, and it's on par with the rest of the stuff. So you never know, because when stuff kind of goes away for a little bit, or it's a spin off, some you never know what it's gonna do number wise. So yes, we will review all the rest of the 5 episodes. So don't you worry. So a big thank you to everyone that did listen to that and just showed, hey, unless the next few weeks just a abysmal drop. But luckily, most of the time, our TV shows either they drop, but it's like, well, Alien didn't really drop, but then if there's a drop, it's a small degree. You always lose some people after the premiere and they come back for the finale. But so we'll see. But as right now, the plan is to review all of them. Check out, we got lots of stuff. We just reviewed Marvel Zombies with Dylan. We just reviewed the Alien Earth finale with Kirkland. Tomorrow we'll be back with Peacemaker. Me and Taylor did do a bonus episode talking about Mandalorian Grogu trailer, talking about the It trailer, the Bride trailer. That was kind of my makeup for Travis Told You on Monday. There'll be a Travis Told You on Friday covering some stuff, but mostly it'll be just a one battle after another review. Check out, we are going to start promoting this now. November 8th, Extra Life, our 24-hour extra or 24-hour stream, our extra stream, yeah, for charity. It's for the BC Children's Hospital. We're trying to raise $2,500. All the proceeds go there. There'll be a bunch of fun stretch goals, a bunch of fun events. We'll start announcing them very soon, probably sometime next week, but look out for all that. And big thank you to all our patrons who vote on the polls and support us. We very much appreciate it. Yeah, and everything you need to know is down below. If you want more stuff, if you like that there's more Trash Told You in bonus episodes, listening and downloading and subscribing helps, but the most important thing that helps is Patreon, because that comes right to us, and that's kind of like a goose egg that we can always know that's there for us, and that supports all these kind of spin-off shows. So we very much appreciate it. Sorry, it is late. Blame Mr. Taylor. We're supposed to watch all
There's
the stuff.
too much stuff going on, man. Holy crap.
Luckily, we're getting near the end of that. Peacemaker only got 3 weeks left. This is really only like 4 weeks after this, so not too much. So other than It, and even It and Dairy, they kind of like start to pair off different times. But what did you think? Obviously, last week we got the 3 episodes. We ended on a cliffhanger. So what did you think about the follow up for episode 4 here?
Yeah, I mean it's picking up a little bit. We're getting a little bit more of our characters kind of cooperating and just kind of like, I guess, begrudgingly, reluctantly cooperating maybe is more the appropriate term, but yeah, there's not a whole lot that they unveiled, but just the narrative is kind of slowly progressing forward a bit more. Still a mystery on Odessa.
Yeah, they're
It's
not
not a
gonna reveal
spoiler,
that
no.
for a bit.
Not for
That's
a
gonna,
while.
yeah, gonna take a minute, I
But
imagine.
just the Dean continues to be a very interesting character. I'm really liking him and how he's
Saw a
just
lot
kind
of
of
them
playing
tonight.
the field. So, sure did, sure did. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, it was a good episode. And again, I really like Emma. I think she's a lot of fun, and
Hmm.
she's just got this. There's an interesting parallel between her and Marie and what their journey is so far, and I think it kind of like uh, you see a lot of development between the two of them in this episode in particular, and I think that's just going to grow and grow and grow. And I'm excited to see where things are going to go in that regard. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot to necessarily add because I don't feel like we got a lot really revealed in the main story. It just kind of is
Mm.
like, okay, we just need you to do this and keep, training and etc. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. I have nothing to add, so we'll be back next week. No, I thought this was a good episode for the most part. We're in the phases where, we're just going to be doing a lot of discovering, looking into the mystery. I think so. Overall, enjoy the episode, like it. I think the two things I have issue with is I have to explain them in spoilers, and one is just a recurring issue that I always say that with the character and the actress I enjoy, but the writing of the character, well, there you go, it's one of the female characters. The writing of the character she's just kind of all over the map, and I don't know what to do with this character as far as how I feel about them. It feels very wishy washy, and I will say we kind of thought this, spoilers for the first three, that how they got out of the season one cliffhanger was very just easy for them. Like, oh, okay, like from what we've seen, the boys and even Gen V to them dealing with this felt like maybe, especially now with Homelander up top, there's probably just easier ways they could have dealt with it. But it's like, okay, have to get the characters back on school. Cool. I kind of felt like that with the cliffhanger this week, where I just like, or last week, where it happens, like, oh man, this is gonna be some really interesting stuff. What's gonna go down? And not much really came of that. So I feel like I'm going to now, when we get these cliffhangers, even with the season finale cliffhanger, if we get one, I'm going to kind of take it with a grain of salt and be like, okay, within 2 minutes of the first episode, they'll be out of the situation, and it doesn't really impact them that much. So that's where I'm kind of disappointed in some stuff. But yeah, there's some fun stuff. I agree with you. The Emma character is great. She meets some interesting folks and with an interesting power set in this episode. But yeah, she's somebody, I don't know how long the show's going to go, but her agent should definitely get in some other franchises. I wish, unfortunately for her, like I know there is comedies out there, but she would have been perfect in that kind of Apatow era. If there was like a group of people that were just making comedies over and over. I'm not saying she can't go do another superhero thing or whatnot, and I don't even think she can't not do like a rom-com. I just mean she would be perfect for that type of set where Apatow it's always was recycling the same, 10 to 15 actors, and I feel like that's what I'd like to see her in, as some sort of a bunch of raunchy comedies or stoner comedies or high concept comedies where it's something like this. So I'm not sure what next. I think we've looked at before she's in much of a career, like this because she's a newer actress. But yeah, that was good. And yeah, Hamish Linklater, I absolutely love. He's great in this episode, and I think that his character had the most progression because I think the plot right now is just a lot of okay, we're enforcing the mystery, but we found some things out about him, some things that I was a little surprised about that were well done nonetheless. So anything else non spoilers?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm not going to take an ad break because we're only 6 minutes in. So if we have to at some point, if we only go half an hour, we usually don't. And sometimes we have on some of these reviews that are a bit shorter or whatnot. So yeah, let's start with the Dean there. So I last week had made the prediction that I thought he was not going to have powers. So what they're doing is they're doing more of their training session. She's working with, Marie's working with the Dean. I can't remember what's his actual name there. Do you remember his name?
Oh, Cypher.
Right, Cypher. I don't know why I forgot that last week, but so she's working with Cypher, and it's interesting because this character, I guess I'll have to just jump to the end till I get this going. He can control people's bodies and what they do. Can he read their minds as well?
I would think so. I mean, it seems to go hand in hand. I mean, he knows everything, right? So it
Yes.
just makes sense.
That was my point where, okay, he's because the beginning of the episode, he's training with Marie, which I enjoy. They're making him very actually wanting to see your progression, saying stuff like, sorry, I sound too much like Yoda, and saying stuff, oh, if you like using your hands is going to make no difference. So he's giving her all these tips that it is helping her. It is gaining, I guess, not trust, but some sort of respect. And he even says that, even I can't remember paraphrasing, but Homelander even started like this, right? Like it's not like we're trying to train you to level up and be the next thing. And then in that same scene, he goes, "Oh well, I know, He says, he even said like we got to train you so you can find out what Odessa is." And well, what do you mean? Well, I know that, and I know you know that I was there with you as a baby, and da 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 da. And I guess it must be right because even when Kate put down that camera, he knew exactly where it was, right? Pretty much because he's asked about the angles, but he just looks down and he finds an angle right away. So that must be the case, and that's what I first was going off of, going, oh, because with the Marie thing, with the Kate thing, he's always one step ahead of another, but he must have a power. But that's where for me last week I said the fact that he didn't have one was very interesting. I thought he wasn't going to have one, and Marie looked at his blood, found no Gen V there whatsoever. So they thought, okay, he's definitely a human. That's what's happening. But not only does it seem like he's not a human, it seems like he's could be one of the more powerful humans if he can read your like mind and also control your body by not even touching you and whatnot. So yeah, what did you think about with the fake out of he was human, but now it seems like no, he's packing some powerful tools over there.
Yeah, well, it does make me wonder why he doesn't have any compound V. So
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is he? He's something old apparently, and again, he was there when Marie was born, so he's got some kind of insight, and his motivations seem to be very different from what Vought wants and Homelander wants, and I feel like, okay, why? Like, as a character, I like him a lot, and I like that he is this pushing Marie and trying to make Marie more than what she thinks she is. Because a lot of these kids, they're all in their heads, right? And their
Hmm.
heads are their limitations, and their powers can be a lot better than what they're limiting themselves to. And so, with the Dean, with Cypher, there was a brief bit of dialogue where it's like, why would you want someone more powerful than Homelander? Why would Vought want that? And I think, okay, it makes sense why Vought wants someone more powerful than Homelander, because they can, I don't think they want a Homelander anymore because he's controlling
Yeah.
everything, right? So this Marie is definitely a counter to him. I mean, what's he gonna do? And she can just make you just pop. Well, it kind of like what the other girl, this president elect, I think she was. I can't remember her name, but she could make people pop. Is
Yeah.
that kind of like a similar power? Would you say?
Well, I think they had the same power. They did. They established that in the show. Those two had the same power.
They had the same power? I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
even remember
She
that.
just had it because that she was in Gen V season one, remember? And that was kind of the connection with
Right.
Marie. So they did say that she had the same or very similar power. Where I wonder, you could do that to him, but could he maybe block that if you can control your mind? Right? I don't know.
He could block it because, yes, he can control your mind absolutely, just like he made Jordan wave up at the dean's
Yeah.
box and all that. And yeah, just brutal, brutal. I was, for a second there, I thought Jordan was going to pop.
Me too. I actually did. I thought it was over, and I thought that was going to be a very interesting. Because to me, it's tough because I like the Jordan character, and I like the Jordan character with Marie, but I can't not lie and say I would have enjoyed the show more if they didn't get, or if they did get killed. Because to me, when this show opens up last week, Jordan gives the speech and it's just condemning everything, right? And then the next scene is just a bunch of people lying, like, no, it's Starlighters, and oh, Jordan he's kind of erratic, or they're erratic, they don't know what they're doing. It's because the they them situation, and there's all this stuff going on. And when they were just back on campus and they did a little speech, well, hey, I didn't lie, and that's what happened. And then they just say, okay, you're other than your numbers tanking, didn't look like much was happening to him, or them. It just felt very easy. And I thought last week that was going to be a real tipping point for that character. So if that character, if the Dean Cypher made Maria kill, or like accidentally, so like resulted in the death of Jordan, to me that would have helped my critiques, because it would have been like, oh, that's why the stakes were so light at the beginning, because it was just like, oh yeah, sure, you got away with this, but really, I'm gonna punish you, I'm gonna kill, this person in front of you that you love, and now don't cross me again, right? So that didn't happen. So I still feel like the stakes of them getting out of it was very easy, but like you said, I just don't know where the Dean is yet, because I feel like every conversation he's had, you could be looked at, oh, he is on the Vought Gen V Homelander side, and then he also signs that he's on their side, right? Because last week,
Hmm.
or those 3 episodes, when he threatened Kate when she's like, let's go to Homelander, like, yeah, let's go to Homelander, and then find out that you don't have power, and what's he gonna do? Now you could look at that as him using it as an intimidation factor to try and scare her, but you could also look at that as he's kind of covering for her that she doesn't even know it, right? She doesn't even know in her head. She just thinks he's the asshole, right? So we don't know. And same thing, he didn't kill Jordan. He got far, made it look like it was a fight because they were just making out in front of everybody, which the people were booing. So he made it look like a fight. So I really don't know, because I don't want to assume he's good, but I just have to feel like with that scene he had with Marie and the way he was training her, very Luke and Ray style, it feels like, again, he could just be training her because that's what happens, but feels like there could be something more there. And do you have any theories of why the Gen V was not showing up in his bloodstream?
Ooh, no, unless he's like an original or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was wondering. Because did we ever get we got the origins of the soups, that they were children that were pumped with Gen V, but did they ever give us the origin of where Gen V came from, like the drug and everything?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they did. I just can't remember it.
Let's see if I can find out.
Because yeah, we got the regular V, and then there's the temp V.
Yes, right.
Uh, Yeah, I just can't recall that far back, but
So, background: Compound V was originally created by a Nazi scientist named Frederick Vaught at some point during Second World War, who experimented with a formula through the use of human prisoners in a concentration camp. So it just says that they just created a formula. So you could now, I don't know if they're gonna, but you could say that for some reason this guy's blood is the origin of it, right? He is like a natural suit, but at the same time, do I think in Gen V? Are they gonna give this just Dean character? He's the first. He's like the
what if
apocalypse of
but what
like
if
the
he's
superheroes.
the son? What if his father
Yeah,
is
true.
Vought, the
You could do
Nazi?
something like that, and they just have like a streamline of pure blood. But at the same time, are you gonna? That feels like a pretty big character. I feel like in the boys' history, if you were to introduce a character that's just pure superhero, no drugs whatsoever, I feel like they do that in the
Well,
boys before
I
Gen
would
V,
say
right?
different type of drugs or whatnot. Because sure, let's say that the guy in there, the old guy, the dad, is the Vought OG Vought man, the Nazi, and let's say he experimented on his son. We already know he did some shit to the girl Nazi, right? What's her name?
Stormfront.
Stormfront,
Yeah.
yeah, because she, I'm pretty sure, was like married to him or like with the guy, right? If we
Yes.
look at her like her old photos, and she ages slowly too. So again, maybe like he could, this little guy, this Dean, he could be the son
This
of
little
yeah,
guy.
this little guy. He could be the
Yeah.
son of Stormfront and Mr. Old Vought. So
Yeah, no, it easily could be, and we are getting that Vought Rising whatever show, right? So you could
mhm.
easily have this character appear there, and that's the thing. So that's what's interesting that Marie couldn't sense it. They thought they had ever because Kate's powers so are seemingly back, but they are not working 100%. They're a little wonky. They have the situation where they're trying to get in somewhere
Oh
with
my
Kate's help.
God.
She asks him to, Jedi, drop the keys and fuck off, and then he's like, yeah. So he drops the keys, but then when he walks over, instead of, I guess because she said fuck off, that in the brain messing up with her powers made it that she made the guy fucking gnome, and he said he was very dry for that, so you got that going on. So but they at least her powers are back somewhat, but that was their play where you're gonna pretend your powers are back, say you've read his mind. And I did like this. Yeah, you have I don't know how you figured out my secret. I like they played along for the first 3 seconds. I actually the second the way he answered, that's when I knew, okay, he is a superpower, has some sort of access to him, because he was just so nonchalant. When she said, you should stop this fight, I said, oh, yeah, that could be a good idea. And then he talked about the camera. I actually thought he was going to stop the fight, and I thought he was going to play along with the mind control for a little bit. But he only did just to troll her, really. He had
Yeah,
no
yeah.
plan or whatnot. But that's the other one where, for me, we've talked about this in season one, and then we talked about this in the last 3 episodes where we start off with Kate. Seems okay. Last season, she's their friend. She's doing a lot of crazy shit because Vaught's there, right? And then I feel like near the end of that season, she kind of picks the side of Vaught. Where then when we pick up here, it seems like she's missing her friend. She says, "Hey, I got you out. I was a big proponent of that." Wants to have some relationship with her friends again. They don't trust her. Yada yada yada. But then at the end of episode one, when they had information from Vaught, it's, oh, turn yourself in, do this. Again, granted, that character did say, I know what pain they put you through, everything they do, so I'm trying to save you. But the way she was going about it, very shady, didn't seem very helpful. They start getting a fight, they leave her there for dead. And then after that, episode 2 and 3, seems like she hates their guts, right? Like she's fully on, you know what? I tried to help them, even if that's a flawed character. I stuck out my hand. They push it away. Fuck these people. Even though they say it's Starlighters that attacked me, screw these people. But here we are in episode 4, where I'm not saying that her and Jordan got together swimming. Like Jordan seemed annoyed to be working with her, but the fact that they went with her with such big information and the trust just happened right away. Maybe it's just because. Like, I would like to think it's because we got the 1 to 3 all back to back, so it should be 3 weeks. But still, if you watch a show like when the season's end and you watch in a row, it should feel natural. And I feel now that Kate working with the heroes again, our heroes, doesn't really feel natural. It feels very forced. And again, I'm all fine for a redemption arc, but I just feel like this character is, they write it as wishy-washy, but not the way Cypher is, where it seems like, oh, this character's written well, that it could be Team Homelander, could be Team Starlighters. You don't know, right? Could be a Mad Eye Moody,
Hmm.
Snape situation that we've talked about, right? But with her, I think it's just poor writing as far as they were trusting her a lot with this episode. And just a few episodes ago, they were ready to. Kate was going to sell them out to Vought, and bad things going to happen. So how are you feeling about Kate right now? Who's seemingly trying to
Um,
redeem again, I guess, for like the third time maybe here.
I think you got the pressure from Cypher saying like I could kill you kind of a thing, and just that mysterious
Yeah.
component. I also think too that the coming out with the whole Andre information, I think that has a lot of kind of push for her too to kind of like miss her friends and kind of like reach out to them.
Mhm.
But I think we're gonna get a complete like I don't think she's gonna get killed or hurt or anything like that. I think it's gonna be like
No.
complete out of fear. She's just gonna turn against her friends again and just go back. I think she's gonna go back and forth because now that she's seen what Cypher can do, like she was already afraid of him, and now she's gonna be 10 times that, with what he can do, which is fucked. Like he can do. They have the same powers, except he doesn't have to touch anyone, right? And maybe that's something he
Yeah.
was trying to get her to hit that point.
Could
But
be.
she said that, she could read minds, she could make people do what she wanted them to do and all that kind of stuff. Well, we know she could read minds because she was like, what's Odessa and all this kind of stuff. So I think that again reaffirms him, like the dean, like he can read minds, all that kind of jazz. So
Mhm.
he's a lot more stronger version of what she is.
I will say then, if that's the situation where, if whether it's well, I guess because it's pressure. I'm not saying you can't have characters that are in the gray and characters that go back and forth and disagree. I just don't. There's only so much I can take if Kate goes back to the bad guy side again, kind of like screw you guys. For me, this was like she's on the side, especially now that she's been caught with them. I
Mm-hmm.
feel that the cipher would be, hey, I know you're up to no good. Can't trust you. Again, I don't think the stakes are going to be that much for Kate. They're just going to maybe kick her out of the class or be like, oh, we took your social media away. Like, I don't think it's going to be a big deal and that's why maybe you could argue that, hey, um, he's on their side, right? Because he could make these punishments a bigger deal, but he is kind of protecting them. So I am leaning that way, that he is on their side right now. Also, we can see what happens down the road, but I don't want Kate to be too wishy-washy. I really don't. Like, if she one more time goes against our heroes in a natural way, I want that to be pretty much it. I want that to be done. She's on the bad guy side now. Just flesh that out. I wouldn't mind if she's on the hero side because I'm always down for redemption arc, and also she did a lot of bad shit. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like every week I don't know what I'm getting with this Kate character, and I feel like I don't exactly get a different character each week, but not quite the exact same one. And in the sense that I don't feel like I've seen it grow, and it just feels like what Kate we gonna get this week, And this week it was, oh, we're with the heroes and we're telling you our complete master plan. And yet,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's see what else. We didn't get Sam in this episode, so he's just still off somewhere losing his mind, I guess, talking to puppets. So
Yes, yeah, because
yeah,
he can't rely on Kate to kind of like help relieve his mind anymore. Which maybe the dean maybe could do could help him with that. Who knows?
maybe, unless the dean doesn't want that,
Yeah.
wants wants him to be losing his mind and everything. So let's see here. So then we got Emma. So she was still just, her mission was to get that camera in there. She's working with those two girls we met last week that were seemingly anti-starlighters, but really are starlighters.
What a
One,
power though, eh? Holy
yeah, I was gonna
shit.
go there. Yeah, got a power where, oh, I'm like a Medusa. I can control my hair, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Show me. Well, it's not that hair, and like, oh, and then you want to see? Well, no, that's for a different time. I thought it was gonna pay off later. Nope, we got to see this episode where she grew her pubes out and used them. So, there you go. And then I don't know what's going on with the Emma character, because I felt like last week um, with the human barista, it felt like they were maybe setting some romantic vibes there, but maybe those were just friends. I felt like not pube girl, but the other girl, they were maybe setting some sort of
Oh no,
romantic.
purely platonic. That felt completely platonic.
Who? The
Her
other
and
girl
and the
there? The
tail
star?
girl.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. I got, like, she was almost like a little jealous at times, and then that was her brother, right? Tail girl's brother.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that's where the chemistry is that they're going for.
Uh, just put a pin in that. You'll see. I think there was some unless if there's nothing, then they had the actress act in, whether it's her choice or directing, act in like a way that she was almost upset that her and her brother were cozying up. Now I guess you could go the route that she's just like, don't be with my brother, but I don't know. That's just kind
I
of a
didn't get
weird.
that at all. It just felt like she was just being like a really good friend, and like Emma meant a lot in like a platonic way.
I'll find like a screenshot next week if that happens again. But yeah, I guess they're sitting out with this brother thing, and then yeah, we got the situation where Emma had to crawl up through the toilet, and then we had the Cipher Dean almost unload on her, not in a good way. He was sitting down. We get this such a shot angle. It's like the POV from the
What
toilet,
a shot.
and it's
Do you think
just
that
like
was the same actor, or do you think they did a
no,
body double?
I think it's a body double. Not even because like I guess you could be, but like not even because it's you being nude. That probably has to be one of those unflattering angles of
Oh
all
yeah.
time. It's just like
We gotta do one of
asshole
those in one of
taint.
our movies. One of
Yeah,
those
you can.
shots. Oh, I
I'll
need a
sign you.
body double. I need a body double.
Yeah, we don't got our money is not tied up in like in naked body doubles, you know. But yeah, he just pulls down Trow and he just sits down with asshole taint, balls, everything just out. And I actually did think Emma was gonna get
She's so
blasted, but
lucky. She's so lucky she got out of there.
yeah,
Jesus.
but she survived. So there you go. So, but yeah, anything to say about these heroes right now? This little team that Emma's found herself on.
I like it. I'm curious to see what the guy's powers are, but so far, like I'm getting a kick out of it, and it's just got a humble kind of, uh, yeah, a humble kind of. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Camaraderie, maybe I
Camaraderie,
guess. A
yeah.
camaraderie, yeah, just kind of that kind of mentality to it. So I like it. I like when she was just super vocal, like I got a team. Leave it to me kind of a thing. She's just becoming a very confident person. And like I was
Oh
saying
yeah.
before, where her powers, where she's trying to hone them in and train them, albeit apprehensively, but just control where she can shrink and get bigger without having to rely on her insecurities. The same as Marie going through this vigorous training to basically levitate people and move blood and all that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. They're both training to enhance their powers. And I feel like, okay, by the time we get to the end of the season, I think we're going to see Jordan with some form of new. Maybe Jordan doesn't have to gender switch to activate the opposite power. Maybe it'll just be
Mm.
whatever gender Jordan chooses to switch to. Both powers, like strength and the like photon blast, will be available. And then I think the same thing will apply with Kate, where I think Kate's going to be able to, without touching people, be able to like control them and whatnot. I think that's the theme so far, is that we're going to be getting like these familiar faces getting upgrades to their
Mm.
powers.
Yeah, I could see that. I only worry. So I like all what you laid out there, especially if the cipher somehow reveals to be on the good guy side. I could see that. My only worry for Emma and Cruz, I wonder where that brother's loyalty is gonna lie, right? Because on the outside, his sister and Bush Girl are anti-Starlighters, right? Like that's what they put out there. So I wonder.
Do you think he could be the speedster that was zipping around
There's
and
always
putting
a
the posters up
chance.
and
Yeah, like that's
knocked
my
her?
worry is that Emma's gonna like this guy or whatever's gonna happen, or even if it's just their brother or that girl's brother, and that's a situation, right? Of if he's and very much like in real life, right? If people dating and whatnot, like you I think that's up to everybody else. But for me, I was somebody like most of the time, I feel like my life partner I have to be pretty politically aligned with and like religiously aligned, which for me, I'm agnostic. So if someone would, I could have dated someone that believed in God, but someone that would be like, we're going to church every Sunday, I'd be like, well, that's not for me. So it's the same thing of this situation of even if he's in the dark about all the stuff Vought and Homelander is doing, can Emma be with somebody if he's like super like yeah like I could see a scene where let's say they are dating and they go visit that barista human where she is friends with him and he acts really shitty towards her, right? Or like you said, is
Hmm.
a speedster. Then what do you do if you're Emma, right? If there's this guy, I know what she'll do. She'll choose the Starlighter, soup side, but that's good drama for that character, right? As far as you maybe meet this guy that's good, not seeing puppets, not fucking crazy, but now he's all down for like just branding humans and whatnot, right? So it's a
Yeah,
tough world to be dating as a soup, So
yeah, it is.
let me look at my notes. Is there anything that we haven't hit on that you
I
want to
can't
know?
think of anything else.
I'm trying to think. We got the fight, like you said. Yeah, the fight I almost thought was gonna pop Jordan, but it ended with Jordan passing out and then coming alive. I really hope that Marie just says, "Hey, I got taken over. That wasn't me, or whatever. Like you were taken over," and they just believe it. I really don't want like a whole episode arc of Jordan like, "You almost killed me. Like I don't know if I can be with you." I really don't want that. I don't want that. I
I
just
think
thought.
Jordan will know that someone took over. I have a hunch.
I hope. I hope. It's just one of my least favorite. Like I talk about this on the gimmick all the time when in a wrestling match when two partners are teamed together and one guy actually hints the other one and they're like, "Hey, what'd you do?" But there's like you could just go back and watch the show and see it was an accident, right? There's literally like you could feel like you got taken over in your body. That wasn't you, right? So we'll see what happens there. Let's see what else. Anything else we talked about? No Andre Dad in this episode, so I guess he's just teaching.
Right.
Yeah, no Stam in this episode. No cameos. Yeah, I think we covered it all. So yeah, I think like I said, overall a good episode. Nothing. It's definitely progressing the plot. I think the show has done a good job each episode of ending in a big way. Even though I said the follow up isn't as good, the fight and them almost blowing up that was ending in a good way. We also learned the Dean has powers now, so that's in a good way. So yeah, anything else we haven't touched upon?
Nope. I think that's
Nope.
it.
Well, there you go. We will be back next week to talk about Gen V episode 5. Episode V for Gen V.
There you
See what
go.
happens, and we'll be. Now we're at crazy. We're already at the halfway mark, Taylor, for season 2.
Beautiful. I love to hear that.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week, and I promise you, it'll not be boring.